Hello, my name is Joseph McDaniel and I'm an Arizona bankruptcy lawyer, and ever since 2005 I get to tell you that I'm a debt relief agency and I help people and businesses file for bankruptcy. Today's topic is life on the fault line. The Dagwood Generation suffers economic burnout and files bankruptcy. There are tectonic plates that interact badly, and that causes earthquakes. And these days, different generations in the United States are interacting in ways that cause bankruptcy. An older demographic is starting to file bankruptcy in increasing numbers because the pressure of trying to do the right thing is causing tectonic shifts in the psyches of grown-ups. For instance, a 60-year-old woman, let's call her Mabel, who is caring for her 85-year-old mother and holding down a full-time job, is going to be sleep-deprived. When Mabel's daughter Susie shows up on the front porch after the divorce with her daughter's two little kids in tow, Mabel is going to be sleep-deprived and depressed. When Mom falls and breaks something important and becomes bedridden, Mabel gets to move from sleep-deprived and depressed to sleep-deprived, depressed, and despairing. Because Mabel sees that tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow in their petty pace will not get any better. She's already figured out that Social Security will not rescue her. Now, depression causes confusion, and confusion causes bad decisions. So when Mabel is faced with a shortage of income because her hours have been cut in half, she's going to make a decision that will probably be based on trying to reduce the number of folks who are screaming at her. Mortgage companies don't scream very much. Credit companies do nothing but scream, from Mabel's perspective. And credit card companies threaten and harass and browbeat. Hey, everybody needs a job, right? Although calling and browbeating the Mabels of the world does get my vote for world's worst job. But collectors love their kids too. And there are Mabels among collectors as well, although they hate their jobs so much that their prescriptions barely help. When I read the funnies as a kid on Sunday morning, Blondie was married to Dagwood, who built huge sandwiches. And huge sandwiches in cartoon strips are pretty funny, unless you're Mabel, because she's the filling in the sandwich, trying to hold the generations together, and that's not as easy or as much fun as it sounds. The other big mistake that Mabel makes is waiting too long to file her bankruptcy, because one of her primary values in the midst of depression, antidepressants, and sleeping pills to try to get some sleep after bedpan duty with Mom is just to get people to shut up when they're screaming at her. Since lawsuits to poor exhausted Mabel are just more pieces of paper, she tends to ignore those until the garnishments hit. And in one last effort to make the noise stop and to try to get some rest, she pulls her retirement funds out and spends them to pay the credit card debt and to try and pay off the judgments so the humiliation of the garnishments will stop. I talked to Mabel, not her real name, not her real facts, a week or two ago. The good news is that in 6 months she'll qualify under the means test to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and then she'll get some peace. And she'll feel like she's rich when she can actually buy some food and medicine when the garnishments stop. The part of it that makes me sad is that I have to force her to do more work before I can fix her problems. She has to take a look at all those debts and the lawyers and the mortgage companies that she's been studiously ignoring for the last 2 or 3 years, and she has to list all of her stuff as well as all of her creditors, without exception. And it makes me sad that I have to bully her into filling out all that information, but it makes me happy that she'll get a bankruptcy discharge and fairly soon get on with her life. Thank you very much.